Something about being a magician is that I don't like to think about the money. That's not how the magic works. You know, when I go to look underneath that pillow, I haven't noticed that the pillow was elevating. I just know, oh, there's going to be coins there. Mm-hmm. Oh, hello there. Welcome back to Personal Finance with Jodakus, where our motto is not FAFO, but it definitely begins with FA. As I've mentioned many times before, not an expert, but as we discovered last time, when it comes to personal finance, I am a bit of a magician. I would love to share with you a few personal anecdotes, successes, and perhaps a little bit of insight into relatable things that you could do. If, like me, you're not an expert, nor are you very driven to be one when it comes to financing, these things just might help. They're small little things that I've learned in my 40 years, and they're getting me into a better place. I'm not sure if it's a wealthier place. It's definitely happier. It's less stressful, more confident, definitely, as we discussed in my last video, where it was separating the shame from everything else. Okay, through this video, I'm gonna have a dog at my side needing my attention. And he too has been involved with the personal finance. We, at one point, were finally in the position to have another animal, and it had been long enough since our previous animal had passed away. And I did think that my first baby Hito, that he could use a little bit of company. So we got a puppy and he came and he was just this cute little guy. My husband had him on his lap all the way home, and we loved him, and my husband house trained him. It was so good. He was a really fast learner, very few accidents. And then I was laid off. It was within a month that I was laid off, and it was so interesting. We had also changed daycares to be a slightly more expensive daycare, but closer to our home, so we didn't have to be driving quite as much. And it definitely was helpful. But we were on it was that week. I'd also started counseling for my anxiety and depression, and medication for that as well. And I was laid off. Oh, such a bummer. And a couple weeks later, we're sitting down on the couch with my son, reading to him before bed, and our dog had a seizure. And it was one of the most terrifying things as a mom, to not only see this happening to our newest family member, our dog, but to have my son watch it too. And then we had to figure out what to do. We took him to the vet. There were a few different options. We didn't really have the money to pay for any of them, but we started him on medication for epilepsy. And so that has increased our monthly cost within the budget, a significant amount. And then that summer, or maybe that fall, he had the worst allergies, and he just nothing would help. And turns out, yeah, he just has allergies. He's on the strongest dose of allergy meds, and that was an even bigger expense. He loves chewing. We would get him a dog toy and be so excited, especially my kids. They'd be like, oh, let's get this for the puppy. And he would destroy it in 5 minutes. I'm like, that's like a $20 toy designed for chewers, and you have destroyed it in 20 minutes. Finally, I just recently, last month, made up these little tugs out of an old dog bed that he had ripped through. And that is working really well, and the kids are able to play tug with him, and they're old enough now to play tug with him. And as I tell everybody, I'm like, oh yeah, we have a wheelie chair, kids sit on the wheelie chair, and the dog tugs them around the house. And definitely there's more expenses and everything like that, but he is a family member, and we love and adore him, and he's worth it. Life doesn't go as planned, and at a certain point, because life doesn't go as planned, like you get this new dog, and then you get laid off, and then he has seizures. I stopped planning for a while. I just gave up, no goals. I was just so frustrated that we can't plan. There's no plans anymore. And so I had another mother describe it this way, and I'm starting to change how I think about it too. That so that people understand, really. I have a high needs child, and he has several amazing and difficult mental disorders that we have to accommodate and embrace and strategize for. So that was something that really we couldn't plan. I remember as a new mom having everything all like, oh, this is what's going to be in the bag, and I'm prepared for this, I'm prepared for that, and it was really just about like preparing for what wouldn't go as planned. A secret lesson that I discovered in motherhood is that life does not go as planned. And of course I had always known that, you know, like I was supposed to be a professor or whatever, but I also really struggled with the navel gazing of it, and so I instead chose to be an underemployed worker. That eventually landed into a career of managing small businesses within the food industry and learning so much through that, most of which being I don't want to manage other people. I already knew that I didn't want to teach people. I learned that in math class and in high school. There's so many things that you get to eliminate after you've done them. It's like, oh, great, chapter closed. Let's move on. Next great adventure. Yeah, life didn't go as planned, yada, yada, yada. I got into a consumer proposal about 18 months ago. When you do a consumer proposal, part of the requirements of that is to do 2 lessons in personal finance that are on the government's website. And you have to go through them, and then you meet with the credit counselor to discuss what you learned, and to just say, I did it, essentially. And my first one I did in late spring, early summer, during my 8 weeks of not having a voice. I'd love to tell you about that, but I've already digressed so much. And so rather than it being over the phone, I was like, no, I need it to be in person. And I went and in person and explained yet again with hand gestures and written notes that I have no voice. So I don't know that they quite understood, but it was a really brief meeting. Essentially, they said, all right, so this was what you were supposed to do. Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? And it came to the lesson, and it was like, oh yes, and this one was on budgeting, which these are things that everybody already knows. And what I wish I had said at that point, and which I have said every time since then when I am talking about the benefits of the consumer proposal, are that, but I didn't know that. I did learn something in that course. Like, why do you think that I am in this position of doing a consumer proposal if I already knew how to budget perfectly? Of course, outside influences, yes. That's definitely a major aspect of probably a lot of consumer proposals. But it got to a deeper level than even I had learned at the bank. and that was great. So I'm going to share with you the big one that I learned. This is really cool. So every May, I know there's going to be a lot of expenses on my vehicle because that's when my vehicle needs to be registered. And in that personal finance course, they said, when you know about a major expense that's happening at some point every year, divide that in, have that in a separate account, divide it into 12, and then put the money aside for that. And I don't know if it was just the way that it was said helped solidify something, or that had never actually been said to me before, but it clicked and I was like, that's a great idea. Yeah. I also know, like, for my work, I'm gonna need a lot of these, like, this special clothing, and I'm gonna need, yeah. I had a Christmas account for a while where it was, okay, I know that I'm gonna need to spend a lot of money on Christmas presents at a certain point. And that just became another, like, emergency fund that I kept pulling from, which really sucks. But this, where it's like, no, it's gonna be like $100 every year. Let's make sure that I put away 8 something a month towards that, or like 10. I don't remember what it is, because I also include, I got to a point where I was making too many accounts. So I had to put my registration in with my maintenance for my van, and then average that out over 12 months, which has been really helpful. Got a lot of broken things that I didn't realize when I bought it. So it's not necessarily a lemon, but it's definitely in the citrus family. And having those accounts has made it possible, though, for May to just be like a calm month. I don't have to, like, steal money from whoever it is. Peter? You steal money from Peter to pay John, or steal money from John to pay Peter. I haven't had to do that since having this. And so that's my great advice, is if you know that there is a major expense happening once a year, put aside just a little bit every month into that account to pay for it. When it's like $10, oh, you don't even notice that it's gone. I think I pay my car insurance monthly, but I have friends who pay them in a lump sum when it comes up, and they save hundreds of dollars that way. But paying for my insurance is taking away from the resources to have a savings account for that. So I'm not there yet, but I might be one day. Something about being a magician is that I don't like to think about the money. That's not how the magic works. When I go to look underneath that pillow, I haven't noticed that the pillow was elevating. I just know, oh, there's gonna be coins there. And so even at times like these, where there are forces beyond my own control, I have to believe that I will reach under that pillow. And even though I know there isn't coins there, I'll find something. Something will happen. I will reach in there, it'll feel a little bit shiny, and I'll pull it out, and I'll be amazed. I did that. I made things happen. I got this done. I was able to get us through the financial struggle. Because I'm magical. Although, with the pursuit of the gold coins, maybe I'm actually a leprechaun? I don't know. It's not the pursuit of coins. It is the ability to make them appear out of nowhere, right? Yeah. Now I'm rethinking my whole archetype. Thank you for listening. I am someone who likes to talk a lot, and it's always better to believe that there is somebody out there that is actually listening and hearing what I have to say. And so for doing that today, you have my utmost gratitude. And at the very least, you did me a favor. If you want to do me more favors, comment down below, interact with this video in some way, like, subscribe. Maybe you'll find more relatable tips on personal finance from not an expert, but a leprechaun. Have a wonderful day. Welcome back to Personal Finance with Jodakus. As I've mentioned before, I'm not an expert. You're right. I'm not an expert. I was like, oh, I should be putting aside money for repairs. Especially last summer when the air conditioning stopped working because, well, that's just what happens on Grand Caravans. I love that my whole family can fit in a van. Dogs, cats, kids, everybody. We don't travel with the kids. I wish we didn't travel with the kids. No. We don't travel with the cats. But yeah, and it's fine. We lived without air conditioning in our vehicles in the 80s and 90s, and we're fine, right?